Hello, what up, guys? Razors here. So as promised, I'm doing the what now, or the afterwards recorded thing. Um, just a quick side note: this is freestyle, so in case I miss something, I will maybe write it down in chat. And but for sure, I was planning on doing that because so many people ask me about Genji in general that I would just record a basic video and like make it a tutorial, maybe upload it to YouTube or something. I don't know, not for views or something, just to like spread for you guys. So in case I miss something out, I will add it in Discord or in the description. And yeah, let's get right into it. So basically, Genji is really high DPS, high damage output DPS if you know how to do it. Basically, left clicking, right clicking. Yeah. Um, what I saw now is that most people tend to use the left click on all distances. It's not good. You can easily get a target really quickly down with the left click and finish them off with a shift or with other damage outputs. But in my opinion, you should only use left click on still standing targets, on targets you have to take out, like for example turrets, or if you're poking a shield or something, or if you're fighting on a distance like this, just go like this and harass the people, kill them like that. And because for a distance like this, it's not worth it to go for the right click. But if you're fighting on a distance like this, for example, just spam the right click. You will mostly hit two or three, even all three of your shurikens easily. It's no problem. So that's a thing to keep in mind. Use your right click as often as possible. Other thing is important. Always be jumping. Always jumping. You will hit more if you're up in the air. You will most likely hit a headshot. It's way more easy to get a headshot. Also, the important thing is to get used to the combo of meleeing and right clicking at once. So you want to do it at the same time, which is literally doing it at the same time. I sometimes mess up myself, but that's the basic thing you want to do, because if you do it like this, you will almost kill the person, and it's most likely that the person is not exactly 200 HP. So in case you do this trick on a normal target, they will most likely die. You just kill them like that. It's easy. That's an important thing. Another thing which I also mentioned in my class was to always be dashing, and also before you dash, you cast your shurikens, either right or left click. I tend to use the right click more often. I will get to that in a second. But for example, if you are going for a still standing target, you won't kill him with left click only. So you know, for example, you have a widow, she's sniping in this area, in this direction. You see, oh shit, she's standing still. Okay, left clicker and follow up with the shift. And next step to like advance this stuff is to do it at the same time, which I'll show you now. Which I messed up. But that's the basic idea. You just left click, shift into it. That's the thing with the left click with the flying speed. I just messed it up. So, but the basic idea is just to right click, shift at the same time. Always when you shift, use your shurikens. Either left or right click, I don't fucking mind. But I mean, just you can even do it at the same time. It will look like a normal dash. You see, and you will easily finish it off the target one shot. So always use it at the same time. That's important. Also, since we are talking about animation canceling, there's a so-called trick called Ghost Dash, which is actually a common thing to use, but since Alucard's channels blew up and blah, and it went viral, it's a interesting animation cancel. I will show it to you, but I think it's a little bit more advanced. Which is basically you will, because shift, like you see, has like a punching animation, and you can actually go ahead and cancel this animation out. So I will show it to you guys. So what you can basically do is like shift onto him, go again, and I basically shifted 3 times. But the second time was without punching, without Genji punching, and you can actually use this to your advantage to cancel out certain animations to be more effective, like that, for example. This also works while blading. So for example, if you get 2 low life targets, pull my blade, and you can still go on with your blade and shit. That's also a cool thing to do. Yeah, that's cool. Another thing which I've seen a lot now was if you're going Pharahs or Mercies, you always try to left click with your shurikens. But that's a bad idea in my opinion, because they need too long to actually reach them. What I tend to use is shift onto their asses, right click, right click, right click all the time, right click immediately into their faces, like the trick I showed you before. The right click and melee at the same time thing. And if you don't have your shift, alright, you have enough walls to go back. Left click, right click, right click, go do the same again. Right click, right click, right click. Maybe I did twice double jump wall climb now, but you can also climb and then double jump to get even more near to it. But you should actually be fighting a Pharah or Mercy when hit scanning at this kind of range, maximum 5 meters, you see? Or even best is when you're up close, because then you deal most damage with shurikens. That's important. Also, a thing when going in, yeah? There are 2 types of Genjis. Well, 3 types. There's the backline Genji. The Genji who always spams his left click jumping in the backline with his team, only harassing the bots, the enemies, I mean, all the time. And you will just basically get all charged all the time, just be jumping, waiting for shields to drop, waiting for turrets, get the turrets, I mean, build up that old charge, wait for a pick, you get a pick, then you see, for example, target gets low, maybe it was spawn, okay, target gets low, dash onto him, proceed for the next one, go on and shit, that's what you basically do. Then there is the all-in Genji, and this one is basically you just really drop on them asses and proceed to kill them by your own and shit. That's what you do all the time. And if you do that Genji, you have to have a really good game sense of when to go in and when to not. The basic thing you do is you try to harass a person down, go in, kill it, proceed to the next one and go out again. Or you just that's the in and out thing, which I wanted to show you in the class, is basically shift in, shift out, kill him that quickly, get out to safety. That's what you do. Also, if you do that, that's all in Genji. And if you do this Genji, you will focus healers. That's your priority. If you don't see a healer, you go for the squishy 200 HP tanks. If you don't see the 200 HP tanks, I'm retarded, 200 HP DPS targets, and if you don't see DPS there around, you just don't do it. It's not worth it to go for tanks in general, and that's why you don't do it. And there's the mix, which what I personally tend to use is I just switch between those three stages, because everything in this game is situational. And what you tend to do is just really mix it, and you just harass, maybe get a kill, maybe not, follow in, go back out, or continue to kill, depending on how many picks you have, how many teammates are alive, what is your old status, what is your teammates' old status. Really many variables which are part of this procedure. Another important thing to know is when fighting a person, when you all in someone, for example a Hanzo or something, when you dash onto a person, you will dash through them and be on a weird position because you're somewhere else. Maybe you didn't want to be here, maybe you want to be behind them or something. That's why I always say, be in the air, and if you go for a target, be like, I don't know the word for it, it's diagonal in German. It's like, when, like, this is vertical, this is horizontal, and this is the thing I mean, like, and like this, not like a straight line, but into a direction. And that's why you have to be like in this direction and then go in and kill him, because in that way you will reach the floor and stop. You will stop, you will be in front of him, or maximum you'll be behind him and then can kill him or something, you know. So basically, if you're above him, go in and kill him like that, or mess up. That's important. Also, if you go in, for example, a really cool trick is to kill my brother, Hanzo. When you dash out to him, when you're like standing in front of him, just push the flag into his face. He will shoot, because they panic. People panic when they see a black cyborg ninja with golden shurikens jump up their ass. They will panic. They will shoot. Like Anna's too. Go in. Oh, Anna, what up? That's it. She will sleep herself or nade herself, nade the team probably. There's all possible things. Also, that's really cool. So basically, a really important thing to know is Genji's deflect. Every hitbox on Overwatch is a square. So if you if you aim for the actual, what's it called, actual field, you will hit it, but it's actually bigger because it's a square. You have to imagine this head is actually this big, for example. You actually aim a little bit higher and still be hitting it. See? And same goes for everything with Genjis, for example. So if you deflect your hitbox, if you deflect in this height, this chest height, right? Your hitbox will actually be like this. It will be bigger than the actual chest. It will go a little bit above. So what you have to keep in mind is, if for example, if you have against a McCree, I will show that with McCree in a second. McCree players, what they tend to do is they either throw the nade straight on the person like this. The nade flies like this, ballistical, like this, and it will most likely stun you. But when you are like good McCree players know that, and the hitbox of the actual stun is bigger. Look at this. I throw it there. I'm not actually aiming at the robot. I'm right next to it. And good McCree players tend to use this trick to avoid Reinhardt's barrier, just jump above him and throw the nade, and also same for Genji. So you can basically stun a Genji when you throw it to the left, throw it to the right, throw it above him like this, or even a little bit higher. You can actually throw it up here and still stun him. I don't know why you can't turn off cooldowns and practice range, whatever. And so you can actually throw up here, still stun him. And a good Genji player who's up against a good McCree player, which tends to happen a lot of times, knows that, and this Genji knows that this McCree gonna throw it above him. So what you do, what I really like, is go up to the target. Okay, that target's dead. Let me reset real quick. Chill a little bit. Alright, there we go. So basically you go onto the target, and right away you're like aiming up here because you maybe missed the head or something. You just flick up. You flick up a little bit, because this way you will actually grow the size of your hitbox, of your deflect hitbox, because if you aim up here, your hitbox is gonna be like this, and then you will even deflect the stun nades right here. Same goes for the bottom. You can still do it if they are aiming for your feet, or if you go for the side, you can aim like this or something. There's all really cool tricks to actually keep in mind. That's it for that. Let's go on to the ult. Quickly build up. Quick ghost dash here for you guys again. Okay, basically ult. I see a lot of people, even if they are alone without the Ana, they tend to actually shift up to the air and then go for the ult, because in some cases it's okay in my opinion, but it's only good if you don't know the overview. Which enemy? You have to know which enemy is where if you go full. You know, 3 bots are in there. I can go in like this. I don't have to dash up. And this dash up is only good if you have an on your team. Here's the fight. You want to ult in. Anna's in the back line, Messi, every one of your teammates is standing here. She can't hit you because you're such a small, slim person and jumping around all the time. And maybe because of Lucia, you got boosty, and yeah, it messes up everything. So you just shift up into the air, give her the time to nano boost you, and then pull out your blade, get the reset on your shift, and go for the enemies. And the crucial thing to do is when ulting with Genji is to negate the range when pulling out your blade. I mean, when shifting, with shifting. So if you are pulling out your blade and he's far away, you shift to get close to him, reset, turn around, go for the next one, go for the next one, and then so on. And I missed the fucking bar because of the wall. And that's basically what you do, what you use to shift on when playing game. But what I really like to use is to, let me build up my ult chart real quick here, is to actually damage the persons first and then go for the ult. I will show it in a second. And I'm dead. Teaching 101. Shout out to Zod there for climbing walls. Anyway, so basically what you do is you just shift right click, damage the person, and then pull your blade. Look out for targets. Okay, here's one there. Maybe there's someone here. No, okay, and so on. That's what you basically do. And I see a lot of people they are struggling. Like they think when they pull out the blade, they have to become the ultimate super survival ninja, but that's just bullshit. Because you would just mess up your ult. You just have to be like, for example, I always, if someone asks me who's a good Genji player to like spectate to get good at, I always say Shadowburn and Necros. But I tell the people these two because they are the complete opposite of each other. Necros is more likely a trick shotter. He will just go like this, go crazy all the time and do freaking 360s all the time. He plays on the same sense as me, apparently. And Shadowburn is like a competitive player. He knows when to go ham and when not to spasm like an idiot. And he just will pull out his blade, look for a target, kill the target, go for the next target, slice that target, go for the next target, gets 3 picks for his team, and this is crucial already. And that's what he does. No shaking, no crazy 360, deflect, shift is something. Just pull out your blade, look for the targets, go right click shift on them. I mean, you can right click when you have the blade, but just shift on them, negate the range, kill them with the blade, look for the next target, go for it. You don't have to shake and 360 and all this stuff, it's not worth it. So yeah, that's an important thing to know. Last thing which just hops into my mind is what do you do when you don't have like nothing up, when you don't have a shift, when you don't have when you don't have the deflecting shift? What do? You are in the middle of a fight, you can't do shit. You have to jump around and also climb, harass, keep harassing, get back a little bit, jump around, climb always up a little bit, because the animations of Genji are hard to hit. He is really hard to hit when doing all this stuff. Double jump alone, people struggle to hit it. Wall climbing and then double jumping, oh my god, you will drive him into suicide. And wait until you do this shit, until you get your abilities back deflected, and see your nerds, that's it. What you do. And also, which I mentioned in the class, is know your maps, know where you're stepping. So basically, if you're fighting here, you are screwed because you don't have anything. Oh my god, okay, you just keep on harassing, you know? Okay, the door's gonna be here in your crew. Okay, cool, I'm out. That's it. Just remember the map and learn to run backwards in certain situations when you are when you did mess up with your engagements, for example. You know, you just have to go and be a little bit more calm. That's what you basically do. And yeah, I think that's mostly it. Nothing more hops in my mind. Usually just people ask me something, I try to answer it live like it now, just without the person right now, and then something hops into my mind. But I think that's basically, these are the most important things you should keep track of when playing Genji, and I think it's quite enough first for you guys. Like, no offense, but I mean these things to adapt and to like this sort of formula to adapt to every game you play as Genji, and then to adapt it to the certain situations you are facing. I think that's a huge challenge, and once you face that, you will become a really good Genji player yourself in literally no time. Yeah, otherwise that's it by me. I hope it was kind of understandable. I am sorry for my language. I'm freaking German, as you might hear from my freaking accent. I try to get rid of it as good as I can, but I guess my native tongue drives me back into my roots. And otherwise, if there are questions, hit me up on Discord. I always answer. If you want like a private lesson, you can always hit me up. We can go into practice range. I can spectate you a quick play game, no worries. We will figure out a time. I'm just right now a little bit busy, but that's just a story for another time. Anyway, if you are taking part of my class, I appreciate for attending. I had a lot of fun. I will definitely do more classes if you guys are still interested, and if my voice won't strain that much next time. But I think I will just drink a little bit less the evening before. And yeah, I guess that's it from me, Razors, and later.